Hello there, it is Margarita Alcantara of Alcantara Acupuncture and Healing Arts, activator for the new Code of Power. And I wanted to show up today because I have some more juicy stuff that I wanted to share with you. And today I wanted to speak into what exactly does it mean to be in your power as a starseed? Because this is something that, this is a question I've gotten often where they've asked me, well, what does it really mean to be in your power as a starseed? Because it sounds nice to be powerful as a starseed, but what exactly does that mean? Does it mean that you're doing healing work? Does it mean that you feel powerful? Does it mean nothing perhaps because you're drawing a complete blank? I mean, who knows, right? So I wanted to just kind of speak into that today and just really share, what really makes a starseed powerful. And it's not just simply that you're a starseed, right? It's a lot more than that. And so I'm here to share with you what those top 10 ways are. So first of all, secondly, okay, so I actually wrote some notes for myself. And so for some of you who just even want to have a grasp of, okay, what does it mean for, what does a starseed mean? Starseeds are those who have roots in other star systems, but they have purposely incarnated on this planet in order to help awaken humanity, in order to help awaken and elevate the vibration of consciousness on the planet. So it's a really powerful purpose, right? And if you're wondering if you are a starseed, I actually have a starseed quiz, so you can check that out. I wrote a blog post on that. I did a Facebook Live on that, so you can check that out. But today I'm going to really focus on what are those things that make a starseed powerful? Like, what are the markers, right? So you can say, oh, okay, so these things are happening. Now I can say that, okay, I have been stepping up into my power as a starseed. So, so what that means, so there are top 10 ways, and I'm going to share them with you right now. And and I understand too, because it's so new for so many people, where it's just really like, a lot of people are even just understanding what is a starseed. I mean, for many, that's a new terminology. It's actually been around for a few years, but the truth is that a lot of starseeds now are waking up into who they are and their trueness, right, and their truth. And so now they've got a lot of questions. And now they want to see, okay, what am I in terms of star lineage? What does this mean? What's my purpose? And all these other kind of questions. So hopefully this will help in regards to that, because this will help to give you some markers on how you can tell if you are in your power as a starseed or not. So the first one is, number one, you are showing up fully on purpose in such a way that you are feeling aligned, on fire, and alive with your work. So, having your purpose as a starseed, this is something that you already have. It's in your DNA. You were born with it. And when you awaken as a starseed, meaning that you remember that you're a starseed, that's when you then become in touch with and align with, optimally, your purpose and your mission as a starseed. And I spoke a little bit about your purpose yesterday, and I'm actually going to probably do like a little video on, finding your purpose and how do you know you're on purpose and that kind of thing. And so that's going to be something that you're going to be able to, hopefully that'll help you as well. But so that's number one. One of the top ways to tell that you are in your starseed power is that you are fully showing up on purpose in such a way that you're feeling aligned, you're feeling on fire, you're feeling it in your bones that when you're sharing it. And that's something that, I'm grateful that, I feel that in my bones too when I'm sharing this kind of, information and creating dialogue around this, is that I'm always fired up around it, because it is part of my mission. It's part of my purpose on this planet. And so that's one of the top 10 ways that you're in your starseed power, is if you are constantly, regularly showing up on purpose, feeling aligned, feeling on fire, ready to share this work, whatever that is for you. So that's number one. Number two, you are constantly expanding in ways that scare you, especially invisible ways. And that's really kind of an important thing for starseeds. And I'll share why in a minute. and you're committed to following through on your Starseed mission. And so, so what that means is that, when you're a starseed, some people, some starseeds think that, okay, once they like become aware that they're a starseed, that's the end of it, right? And that's the end of whatever they had to do, right? Well, that's only the beginning. That's only the beginning. And that, just because you woke up as a starseed does not mean you're on purpose as one. That's a whole different ballgame altogether. And that's something that you get to take ownership of. And I spoke a little bit about that at yesterday's Facebook and Instagram Live. So what this means is that when you're constantly expanding in ways that scare you, that means you're committed to your growth. You're committed to your growth, you're committed to your mission, and a big deal of being committed to your mission on this planet is actually, sharing what is your wisdom, right? So, because the truth is there are a lot of starseeds who have a lot of things to share. They know they have a big purpose, but they're just, doing it in the safety and comfort of their own home. And, I'm doing that in my own home as well, but there's a difference, is that I'm actually showing up and talking about it and talking about being on mission, talking about, what my mission is and how that's related to what's happening on this planet, right? So there's a difference there. And so you are being invited, if you are a starseed and if you are on mission, you are constantly invited to doing things that are completely out of your comfort zone. And, and of course, there are some baby steps, but what is really required is not only the baby steps, but the big steps. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to, who are you willing to reach out to? Who are you willing to contact in order to, fulfill your mission? And when I talk about also doing so in visible ways, that's really, really important, especially for starseeds, because starseeds love to be behind the scenes. And although I know you love to be behind the scenes, the truth is no one is going to learn about your work if you're all behind the scenes and you're hiding there in your bedroom somewhere. So the way to address that is to get visible. And what was really funny was that, I shared this one time with someone on a phone call, and I shared about the visibility aspect because she really was enjoying being a wallflower. And I said, well, you're going to be invited to be more visible. And she immediately took offense to that. And she immediately said, well, I'm not looking to be Oprah. And I thought that was hilarious, because it's like, how interesting to correlate being visible with being Oprah. It's like, there's being visible and showing up, right? And then there's Oprah level status, which of course there's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully there will be many of us who will be reaching that kind of visibility so that we can really get our impact in the world happening and really getting our mission across, right? But the truth is that all you need to do is show up. That's part of what it is. It's showing up, allowing yourself to be committed to your vision, being committed to your path. And, one thing that, I noticed today, because I saw one of my mentees had gone live on Facebook and Instagram today. And she didn't, she admitted that she wasn't in the mood for it, right? Because she had some, some interesting news earlier that day. And she, at first she felt really on. And the truth is that when you're in your power as a starseed, you show up with whatever you committed to, no matter what is going on in your life, right? So, because it's not like no one has bad days, right? I have my own bad days. Sometimes things happen where I'm about to go on a master class and conduct and perform, some big activation, and then some shit hits the fan, right? But do I cancel the master class? No, I run through and I move forward with my commitment, because that's what I'm committed to. I'm committed to my mission and my vision, and all starseeds need to be as well. So, we'll have our off days, we'll have our off moments, but if you've committed to something, you show up for it, right? And then that's when you realize that, wow, I did it. Not only do you feel proud that you showed up for whatever you needed to show up for, but that you then also make the impact that you meant to make, because you showed up and you are showing others how to be committed in their power. So that's number two. Number 3, in terms of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power, you have gone beyond the I need healing stage and are activated into your full starseed capacity of who you are meant to be without getting bogged down by triggers and old traumas. So this is a big one. And this is something that I did touch on yesterday in Facebook Live. But there is something where there are a lot of starseeds who are just, kind of staying in the whole I need healing stage. I need to be more healed. I need to do more of this and that and, whatever, which is just another convenient way of saying, I'm going to procrastinate just a little bit because I'm scared to move forward and I don't know how, right? And I'm not saying that real healing doesn't need to happen. I do healing work for a living. For over 10 years now, I've been a healer, quote unquote, where I am a licensed acupuncturist, a Reiki master teacher, a shamanic practitioner in the Mayan Toltec tradition, and now I'm this activator for the new code of power, right? And the truth is that has all been sequential, and that has all been with a higher vision at play. And so, and the truth is that wouldn't have happened if I stayed in no, wait a minute, I need to heal. I need to do more healing work on myself. I need to, be like feeling better about myself. I need to be like perfect or whatever my impression is, right? Because the truth is that, are there individuals and starseeds out there who do need to do the healing work right now? Sure. But there are many in fact, who are using this whole I need to heal, I need to address my trauma, who just stay in that space and don't progress further, right? Like they don't move past what they are, beyond the trauma, beyond the pain, in order to step into their power. And so that's number 3. Number 4, in terms of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power, it is you are constantly led by your heart, taking huge leaps into the unknown, even if you don't know what's on the other end. And every single word that I used in that point number 4 was very intentional. And that is because so many starseeds, they're so magical, they're so cosmic, they're so up there and, whatever. But then, like they have this polarity where then there's this other aspect of themselves that is like feeling, okay, now I got to be human now I got to be really like responsible, and I've got to be really logical. And the truth is, when you're in that kind of polarity where you're all cosmic on one sense and then you're all logical in another sense, there's no unification, there's no wholeness within you, right? So this is what I'm talking about, is that what actually brings those two worlds together is your heart. And if you're only in the cosmic frequency, or you're only tethered into the earth, you are disassociated, to be honest. You're not completely showing up in your fullness. And so the way to be in your fullness is to be in that heart connector, because literally the heart is the connecting chakra between the spiritual chakras and the lower physical chakras. And I wrote a book on chakra healing, so I think I know what I'm talking about there. So when you're constantly led by your heart has a certain heart intelligence. Literally, there's an intelligence, almost kind of like a brain, right? And some will actually say there are 2 aspects of our power. And the first and biggest aspect of our power is really at our heart, right? Because without it, we're not in our power whatsoever. So if there's any, if anxiety is leading you, if depression is leading you, if fear is leading you, you are not in your heart. That's the bottom line. That's what's going on, right? And so, but if you're in your heart, in the presence of your heart, in the stillness of your heart, in the truth of your heart, because your heart is always on point, it's always honest with you, then that's when you can move forward in your power. If you're up here in your head, if you're trying to be logical and you want to be linear about it all, you're going to have a really hard time. And that's going to get you stuck. It's only going to get you so far. And the reason for that is because the mind can only take you so far. Of course, if you are tapped into your higher frequency and your intuitive wisdom from your third eye and your pineal gland, that's another aspect of your power that you get to cultivate, right? But most individuals and starseeds who are not completely yet fully activated into their power are really stuck in their logical mind, and they think that they're getting somewhere when they're doing that. And what all that's doing is getting you stuck and getting you in fear, because you're not trusting your heart. And when you're not trusting in your heart, you're trusting in something else, and it's not love. So that is number 4, being constantly led by your heart. And also taking huge leaps in the unknown, because taking huge leaps into the unknown requires you to be connected to your heart, requires you to trust your heart. Because when you trust your heart, you trust your path, no matter what, right? So that is why that's all kind of in that same sentence. Number 5 for the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power is you are trusting your path without a shadow of a doubt. And so I touched on this a little bit in point number 4, but when you are truly in your starseed power, you are trusting your path, and it's not because you know what your path is. It doesn't mean that you know what's going to happen around the bend, or because you know what's going to happen 10 years from now. It's not because of any of that. It's because no matter what, and no matter what shows up, you trust your path, you trust your heart, you know you're being taken care of, you know you're being supported. And so that is what that means. So that is number 5. Number 6 of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power. You are having healthy love relationships that are blowing your mind. And I'm not being facetious there, because the truth is, when you're in your starseed power, like everything in your life, everything is affected by you being in your power. And likewise, when you're not in your power, when you're feeling disempowered, everything in your life is being affected by that, right? So, and I know that many of you who are here right now, because I see many of you have hopped on, you know what I'm talking about. So like when you're having, when you're not vibrating very highly, and you're not feeling great, and you're feeling disempowered, everything in your life is affected, right? Like your love life, your relationships, your career, the way you're, interacting with your colleagues and your coworkers and your boss, and or if you work for yourself, like you're showing up in your business, or like in your daily interactions with people, like it affects everything. And that is why being in your power is not just a nice to have, it is a must have, because if you are not empowered in your life, it affects everything in your life across the board. So in number 6, in the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power, having healthy love relationships that are blowing your mind. Just as an example, right? For me, what that meant for me was that part of me being in my starseed power meant that I needed to step into my own personal power, and from there I was able to enter into a relationship with my twin flame, Stacy, who you hear me talk about every so often, because he is a very big part of my life. And the truth is that we have this symbiotic relationship where, of course, I'm focusing on one aspect, and, all this activation stuff and power and codes and paradigm and the new paradigm and all this stuff. And with him, he is more of the research. He looks into, the Schumann resonance. He, like checks out, what's going on with the sun. He, is, checking out the patterns and behaviors that are showing up in the world, right? Like, things like that. Like he researches a lot of different kinds of things. And so this is what I'm talking about, is that there's then this, how would I say, like it's really a partnership, so we do work together. And so a lot of what I do is influenced by his work, and, a lot of what his growth is on his end has a lot to do with what I've revealed, for him. So that is, and when you are having relationships that are blowing your mind, that means that they're fulfilling. It means that it's serving you. It means that it feels great. It means that it's building you. It's lifting you. It's assisting you on your journey. right? And I'm talking about love relationships that are romantic as well as platonic, and you get to, shift whatever relationships are, you're having right now into ones that are even more fulfilling and that really do blow your mind. And so that's number 6. Number 7 of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power: you are creating a constant flow of wealth and abundance doing what you love. So this is very important because a lot of starseeds have this insane idea that if they, follow what they love, that they're going to be broke. I don't know where they got that. I think that's probably new paradigm, info. And certainly it's old programming. But the truth is that what we have available to all of us, humanity, we all have this available to us right now. All of the new codes of power, light, wealth, joy, and love, they're all here. They're all here for us now. We all get to access it, starseed or not. But if you keep on believing that, oh no, I don't need to be wealthy, or I don't have the capacity to be wealthy, or, whatever the story is, right? That is a limited belief. That is untrue. To be honest, it's illusion. So if there's a part of you that's believing that you do not have access to a consistent flow of wealth that can be in alignment with your purpose and your power in the world, then there needs to be a shift that needs to happen. Because the truth is that when you're truly in your alignment as a powerful starseed, meaning that you're living on purpose and doing your work, whatever that big purpose is for you, you get to be wealthy. You get to be abundant. You get to, pay your bills. You get to eat. If you want to eat well, you get to do that. If you want to eventually have a house, you get to save up for that or pay for that. If you want to move somewhere else that is more conducive to your light, you get to do that. There are no limits, is my point. So that's number 7. You are creating a constant flow of wealth and abundance doing what you love. Number 8 of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power: you are no longer resistant to the bigness of your power, right? And so this is a little bit resonant to, let's see what point that is, to point number 3, where I mentioned you've gone beyond the I need healing stage, and you're no longer getting bogged down by triggers and old traumas. So that is definitely a segue to number 8, which is you are no longer resistant to the bigness of your power, because a lot of starseeds are resistant to their power because of their old traumas, because of their old triggers, because of what they've heard other people say about them being in their power. Like, who do you think you are? Right? That's a big one. Who do you think you are to be so big? Who do you think you are to be successful? Who do you think you are to be this big, purposeful person who's going to make an impact on the planet? Who the hell do you think you are? Right? Silence for emphasis, because the truth is there are so many starseeds who are believing that. They believe, oh my God, they're right. Who do I think I am? Who do I think I am to be so powerful? Who do I think I am to think I'm going to make this impact in the world? Who do I think I am to, speak truth into the world, to be speaking on stages, to be writing a book that's going to affect the world? Who do I think I am who is going to be activating people into their power? That was my thing. Let's be honest here. I'm going to have a little share here, is that was my thing, is that when I learned about all of the stuff that I could do, I'm like, oh my God, who am I to be thinking I'm an embodiment of the planet? Of all things, right? Who am I to be thinking that I am this conduit between the Star Nation and Mother Gaia, right? Who am I to be activating people into their power? Who am I to be opening portals of power for Mother Gaia? And who am I to be unifying all levels of the earth into oneness with humanity, right? Who am I to be thinking that? And the truth is, now, now, there's no problem taking ownership in that. Like, because the truth is that's just what it is. It is what it is. I am who I am, as you are who you are, and that is the truth. So you don't need to attach emotion to it, right? You don't need to attach judgment to it. The truth is, like, there are some people here, and I've seen many of you here. Many of you are activators also. Some of you are activators for, the courageous heart. Some of you are activators for, the new face of medicine, the new face of wellness. Some of you are the face of the new face of compassion and the truth of love. And you are those things, right? So yes, you are that big thing. You are that big thing that you are afraid you think you are, because so you no longer need to be resistant to your power, right? I mean, you've been told, probably, like I have, not only who do you think you are, or you're not going to amount to anything, or you're not going to make it, or, you suck at such and such, so I mean, you're not going to get very far in this area, I've heard a lot of different things. And the truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think. It really doesn't. It's not because I'm dismissive. It's just because I know my truth, right? And you get to know your truth too. So you get to no longer be resistant to the bigness of your power. You get to be big. You get to be unlimited. You get to be expansive, and let people have their opinions. Let people have their judgments. Let people have their stories, because the truth is, they are all stories. And I guarantee you, all of their judgments around your power is based on their fears of their own power. Mic drop, because that is the truth. That is the truth. Everything that everyone has to say about your power, especially in a derogatory, negative fashion, is due to their own perceptions and limiting beliefs of themselves, and their beliefs that they can't do it. And that's okay. That's their journey. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to save them. I know as an empath, you want to do that, but you don't need to. And that's not your job. Your job is to radiate and be on purpose and be on mission and do your big purpose, right? So that was number 8. Number 9 of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power is that you are in flow, move at an accelerated rate, and make decisions quickly. So, I wrote this all down because I wanted to make sure I'm on point on all this. And that's the truth, is that, and I know that a lot of the women who are in my mentorship program, are noticing this already, is that there's this acceleration that happens when you are accessing your power. It's just, like even a lot of the things that I've shared yesterday, it's already done. I'm already on to the next thing, because that's how energy works. Energy, power, money, joy, love, it all favors speed. And I'm not saying speed because you have to hurry up or you have to rush. Like, I'm not talking about time constructs, which is a construct, right? Time is a construct. But what I'm talking about is being in your flow, not resisting who you are, not resisting your power, not resisting your next steps, not resisting your love and your joy and what is driving you and the fire in your belly, right? And when you are in that state of being able to move at that accelerated rate, it is because you're making your decisions quickly. You're not saying, wait a minute, I need to process. That was me, queen of processing. Right? I need to process. Give me a day, a week, a month, a year, or whatever I need so I can process, right? I didn't need to process. And once I got over that and understood that, things happen much more quickly, and that can happen for you too. So that is number 9. And then the 10th of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power is that you are connected to your star family and also grounded in your body and the earth. So that's number 10. in terms of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power. So here I'm talking about the balance, once again, of being able to connect with your star family, whether it be telepathically or otherwise. Usually it's telepathically, because that's how we do as starseeds. As starseeds really open up further and further into their power and into their light, they start to realize that, oh, wow, I actually... I'm getting a lot of information and I can communicate with my star family, because yes, you can. When you're really in your powers as starseed, you can communicate telepathically with your star family, meaning it can be from your heart or it can be from your pineal gland, that you're just talking with them, having a conversation. And you're also grounded in your body, which means that you are embodied in your physical body, because and I've touched on this in the past in some past blog posts and Facebook lives and Instagram lives, but there are many starseeds who, because they are so fearful of their power, or they are denying their mission, that they are still trying to get home, which means that they're not being embodied, and so then they are having a lot of physical pain or physical issues, and that's because they're not desiring to be grounded in their body. Once you are truly grounded in your body, meaning that you are honoring your vessel, meaning that you're like, okay, on all levels of my being, let's do this, right? Which also includes your physical body. And it also means being anchored in the earth, being anchored in Gaia, meaning that you're not trying to get back to whatever star system you came from, right? You know where you came from, and you're anchored into the planet so that you can physically manifest your mission in the world, because your physical manifestation and your mission will not manifest if you're only up in the cosmos. If you're only up in the cosmos, that only gets you so far, right? I mean, it feels great. It's wonderful. I've been there, and I'm there quite often. And in fact, I've gotten pretty good at being, bilocating and doing all kinds of things, which is something that I also, if it's relevant and it comes up, it's something that I also share with my clients, if that's something that they need also to like learn so that they can move through their life. I teach them all kinds of techniques that I don't really share on social media. And so that is also what that means, is because being up in the cosmos and being cosmic means nothing if you're not anchored in the earth and you're not following through with being on purpose in the physical realm. Because that means then you're not really helping anybody, or maybe it's a limited amount of people, right? And you get to be unlimited and expanded. So I hope that helped. And so I'm going to just quickly recap, and I see some folks have been joining us here and are making some comments. So I'm going to speak into that really shortly. But before I do, I'm just going to do a quick recap of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power, because I know some of you are just kind of joining me now. Number one, you are showing up fully on purpose in such a way that you are feeling aligned, on fire, and alive with your work. So yeah, so you are being driven in a purposeful way, in a joyful way with your work, because it is part of your mission. Number two, you are constantly expanding in ways that scare you, especially in visible ways, and committed to following through on your starseed mission. And like I mentioned before, one of my mentees today did exactly that. I was so proud of her. She was not in the mood to be on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, but she showed up anyway, and she showed up. She felt better about herself, right, because she showed up, and she got her message across. And that's what you do when you're being a powerful starseed, is you show up in commitment no matter what. Number three, you have gone beyond the I need healing stage and are activated into your full starseed capacity of who you are meant to be without getting bogged down by triggers and old traumas. And so that's why that's something that, you hear me talk about all the time, is not, staying in the whole I need to heal, I need to talk about my traumas all day, all night for like years and eons and forever, or talking about your triggers like forever either. You get to go beyond that so that you can step into the next phase, which is empowerment. And then number four, you are constantly led by your heart, taking huge steps into the unknown, even if you don't know what's on the other end. Number 5, you are trusting your path without a shadow of a doubt. Number 6, you are having healthy love relationships that are blowing your mind. And I'm talking romantic love and platonic love, all kinds of love. It's all good. Number 7, you are creating a constant flow of wealth and abundance, doing what you love, because yes, starseeds get to be wealthy. Starseeds get to make money, and it's not a dirty word. It's not a dirty concept. It's not in alignment with the old paradigm. All the old money, all the old power, that was with the old paradigm. What we've got going on for us now, and what we all have access to, is being able to do our work that fires us up, makes us joyful, is aligned with our vision and aligned with our big purpose. We get to make money doing what we love. We get to make a happy living where we want to live, having a lifestyle we desire to have. We get to have everything. We get to have it all. We don't need to choose anymore. Number 8, you are no longer resistant to the bigness of your power. Number 9, you are in flow, move at an accelerated rate, and make decisions quickly. And number 10 is you are connected to your star family and also grounded in your body and the earth. So I would love to hear from you. Is this resonating for you? Hi, Jill, Consuela. Hi, Felicia, Shamila, Michelle, Chantel. And then on Instagram, we've got Jasmine and Haley and Lorraine, and Claritha, and other folks are hopping on. Does this resonate for you guys? I would love to hear if you're hearing me on this. And also, which one do you feel either you're close to or one that you'd like to work on more? I'd love to hear that as well. Chantel said, thank you for sharing about being queen of process. Yes, I was that. I will no longer claim that title. I get stuck there. Glad to know I am not alone with that and that you have overcome that. Yeah. So, and the whole thing around processing, just as a little secret here, right, is that processing is another way of control. Processing is another form of control. And let's be honest, ladies, we are queens at trying to control everything, right? And you don't need to, because really what control means, it's another way of saying you're scared. It's another way of saying, I'm scared that I am not supported. I'm scared that if I do not control this situation, it will not turn out the way I need it to, and that will just be devastating, right? So first thing about that, relinquishing control and surrendering to your power will be so liberating for you. And when you can see and understand that you do not need to control, that you have the ability and the power to literally sit back and trust that the universe has your back. And then of course, do some action, because, life doesn't just happen because you're sitting back, but that you're doing action towards whatever it is you truly, truly desire, that you're trusting the universe, you're trusting yourself, you're trusting your heart. That's what that means when you relinquish control about being queen of the process. And like I said, I was queen of the process. I crowned myself, and I take off that crown and I incinerate that crown because I do not need to be queen of process anymore. I do not need to be in this mode of control because I do not need to be in fear, right? And just to be clear, when you're in your power as a starseed, it doesn't mean that you're fearless, that you never feel fear. I feel fear all the time from a lot of different aspects, right? because every single time you up level, there are a lot of really powerful things that show to you, right? And I do a lot of work with, on many different levels. I'm doing work on this plane, in the earth, in the cosmic, fields. I see all kinds of things. I see all kinds of beings. I see all kinds of beings doing things that, are probably not of the highest vibration of light. And, but, you show up anyway, right? You show up because you have capacity, that you don't need to control the situation. It's because you just exude your power and you allow that to take over, and you surrender to the truth, your truth. And the truth is you are powerful, right? But if there's some place about you that is believing I'm not, really that powerful or something like that, then you leave room for fear to come in and take hold and take root. So yes, Chantel, totally possible. Ellen says, thanks for sharing. Love the recap for those of us just joining later in the video. Yep, you're welcome. And I also recommend that you check out the replay, because, there were 10 ways to be in your starseed power. And I'm sure that, some of that resonated, some of that may not have, some of them may have been quickly passed through. And so you can check it out on replay as well. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Hilda. And Hannah is saying, one of my recent triggers is when friends I thought were my true friends didn't even say happy birthday to me, especially the ones who helped me, right? And so these are things where, you get to also see when you're in your starseed power, you get to reevaluate, like who do you want to have in your life, right? Because that's something that you get to do. If there are people around you who are not lifting you up, who are not supporting you and your vision, you get to shift things up, right? And you're not doing that because you're being vindictive or something like that. And I certainly don't recommend doing something in a vengeful way, right? It should always come from love, always come from love. And number one being love for yourself, right? And so that is something that you get to do when you choose who you want to be surrounded by, because everyone who is surrounding you right now is influencing your vibration. And you may have heard that phrase before, that the 5 people who are in your life the most are influencing you the most, right? And so that's also happening energetically, is that all the people who are around you the most at this very moment, and I'd like for you to take a quick mental snapshot of who those people are in your life, who are surrounding you in your life right now. Are they lifting you? Are they elevating your vibration? Are they supporting you in your vision, in your light, in your life? Or are they dragging you down? Are they criticizing you? Are they promoting habits that are not resonating with your light? Are they doing things that are bringing down your vibration? And I'm not talking about judging, right? This is not about judgment. It's about evaluating, because the vibration thing is so, so important. Because if you are hanging out with folks who are vibrating at a low level, first of all, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing that is attracting that kind of vibration? Because the truth is like attracts like, right? And that is true when it comes to people and opportunities that you're attracting. It is vibrating at the level that you're vibrating at. So if you are surrounded by a lot of individuals who, are not having the best intentions in mind, or they're not really, growth is not an important thing to them, or they're, pulling you down, or they're not lifting you up, or that kind of thing, then that's where you get to kind of evaluate things, right? And see, is this supporting me? And is this raising my vibration? And if it's not, then that's something to check out. So I hope this was really helpful. Anyone else have anything else to share about what I shared today? Because I know I covered a lot of ground in kind of a short span of time, but this is really, really important, and I wanted to speak into this because this is something that, I know a lot of starseeds are like, okay, that's great to be in your starseed power, and it sounds hypothetically interesting, but what does that actually mean? This is what it means. It means everything in your life is feeling, empowered, is being energized and innervated by light, is being energized by your mission and your vision, and you are being supported and know on the deepest level of your being, in your heart, that you are being supported and you have a trust and a faith in yourself and your life. And so that's really what that means. And so if that's something that you want to explore more in regards to what you're doing in the world as a starseed, and you want to get deeper into the next level of who you are, then, shoot me a private message. We can talk about it further. But in the meantime, I really hope that this really helped you in terms of the top 10 ways to be in your starseed power. And I see Felicia here is saying, I've appreciated changing the word trigger to prompted as a catalyst to evaluate. And if you use the word trigger, then it's something to consider raising. Yeah. And so, the whole thing with, and that makes sense, right? Trigger and prompted. And so that can even be a thing, like in terms of how, certain words resonate for you. If certain words that I share are not resonating, then use words that do. And so that's great that you are, sharing, Felicia, what it is that, that it is that you desire to be entering into your life, because that's part of what you get to do too, right? And me personally, I do like to use the word trigger because that speaks to people, and that's something that people understand. And it also describes pretty accurately what is happening. Although I do see what you mean by using the word prompt. So, and I think that it's very helpful. So thank you for sharing that, Felicia. So anyway, anyone else have anything else to share? Okay, so I hope that was of service to you, and consider that when you're talking about, what is it that I'd like to elevate into in my life, and move forward with, what do I want to surround myself by? What do I want to improve on in myself? Do I need to be more constantly led in my heart? Do I need to get out of my head more? Do I need to trust my path? Do I need to really pay attention to my vibration and what I'm attracting? Do I need to expand more and do things that scare me? And the truth is that should always be a thing, by the way, for all starseeds, is to really keep doing the things that scare you the most, because those are always the ones that link you quickly to your power, but only if you allow yourself to go straight in there. And so that's also one of those secrets that you get to explore for yourself, is that, those things that scare you the most will direct you straight to your power. So with that, I hope that was of assistance to you, and I hope that helped you and serves you on your path as a starseed, and feeling, excuse me, more embodied in your power. And feel free to leave some comments below, and I will get to them, and especially those comments in regards to how this resonated for you. If there's any questions you have on any of the points I brought up today, if there's anything that you want to declare for yourself around what you want to improve on for yourself, or what you're noticing in your life that you may not have seen before, that kind of thing, I'd love to hear about it. And that's also a way that you get to connect and engage with your power and your light. Because the more that you do more of that, the more that you really awaken and interact with your power in more productive ways. Okay, so love, light, and power to you, and have a wonderful week, everyone.